Hello, good morning children of 10th B and 10th F. We continue the second chapter, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, written by himself. We learned in the last class, it was 10th May, the day of oath, with a bright and shiny sun. Nelson Mandela was supposed to take oath as the first black president of South Africa. A large number of leaders, all from around the world, had gathered there to be the witness of the swearing-in ceremony of Nelson Mandela as the first black president. The inauguration ceremony took place in a big open building, amphitheater in Pretoria, where the first democratic non-racial government was to be installed. This we studied yesterday. Now we will see the swearing-in ceremony of Nelson Mandela. His daughter Sanani was also with her. Before moving to the next page, we find some oral comprehension check. We've noticed some of the speeches, some of the quotes of Nelson Mandela, what a promise he gave to the audience. The sun shall last lines of page number 18, I repeat, the sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. Is it clear? Oral comprehension check answers I will give you. Where did the ceremonies take place? You got it? In an amphitheater, an open stadium. Can you name any public buildings in India that are made of sandstone? Taj Mahal. Can you say how 10th May is an autumn day in South Africa? Got it very well. At the beginning, third question, at the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentions an extraordinary human disaster. What does he mean by this? What is a glorious human achievement he speaks of at the end? Fourth question, what does Mandela thank the international leaders for? Question number 5, what ideals does he set out for the future of South Africa? Find out the answers. When you read, go through, try to answer them yourselves. Not by writing. I will give you in writing. Just to check yourself whether you understood the text. First paragraph, first few paragraphs. Okay, next paragraph, page number 19. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe. Awe means in fear, as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers roared in perfect formation over the Union buildings, as we do it on Republic Day or Independence Day, the display of the performance of the Air Force. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe. In awe, in respect and fear. Awe means in respect and fear. As a spectacular array. Spectacular array means a display, an impressive, spectacular and impressive, colorful and attractive display of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers roared in perfect formation over the Union buildings. Troop carriers, vehicles carrying soldiers. It was a beautiful scene. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. Pinpoint precision, complete or perfect order. Not only it was a perfect order of their display and military force, but a demonstration, a show of the military's loyalty to democracy. That is, they are loyal to the new government. Democracy, democratic form of government that had been freely and fairly elected. Only moments before, the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. Only moments before, few moments before the display of these jets and helicopters, highest generals of the South African Defence Force, they all saluted Nelson Mandela and promised their loyalty. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. He remembers. He never thought of this moment. I was not unmindful, I was not knowing of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. Few years back, they never saluted him. No need of that. He was not the president that time, but only arrested for protesting against the whites. But it's the same officers, same generals. Their chest bedecked, means decorated with the ribbons and medals. Senior officials, highest officials, they get different medals. It is pinned over there on their pockets, on their shoulders. Nelson Mandela was not knowing of the fact that this day will come to me in such a way. All those people who arrested him many times and put him in the jail will come and salute him in such a way. Finally, a chevron of impala. Chevron, a pattern like V. The planes, impala jets. Impala is the company's name, jet's name. Finally, a chevron of impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue and gold of the new South African flag in a V-shaped way. Chevron, victory. V is the symbol of victory. So in a pattern, in the shape of a V, new South African flag, different colors it has. These jets spread out, left a smoke trail. See that on Independence Day and their performance on Air Force Day and all we see. Smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue and gold colored from the jets, impala jets. They made a pattern in the shape of a V. V stands for victory. Next para. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems. See how respect they have given to. One is the old one and the other national anthem is the new one. One is for the whites, till now they followed the whites. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems and the vision of whites singing Nkosi Sikelel Africa and black singing Die Stem. One is the national anthem of the whites, first one. And the second one is the national anthem. Black singing Die Stem, the old anthem of the Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised. That means they never give support to, once they hated this national anthem of the black people. But now, anyway, they must learn it. They have learned it by heart. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics. Neither group means whites and blacks. But they would soon know the words by heart. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics, the meaning, the words of the anthem. They once despised, then once hated those words. But they would soon know the words by heart. See the change. Once they were slaves, now white people can't do so. Next para, on the third day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. Overwhelmed, overflowed. His joy was overflowed on the third day of the inauguration. They celebrated the day many days with a sense of history. I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. He just recollected how it was few years before, in the first decade of the 20th century. That means 1901 to 2000, 1999. A few years later, the bitter Anglo-Boer War, and before my own birth, the white-skinned peoples of South Africa, we are talking about 1901 to 1910, first decade, first 10 years of the beginning of the 20th century. A few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, Nelson Mandela was not even came to this world, not even born. The white-skinned peoples of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination. It was there. There was a war, bitter Anglo-Boer War. After this war, white-skinned peoples of South Africa patched up their differences, finished their differences, and erected a system of racial domination. And this slavery system was very bad in those years. They became the dominant power there, white people. They started that racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhumane societies the world has ever known. Yes, the way white people treated the Africans, very inhumane, the harshest. No world ever shown such kind of, even the world has ever known such kind of in any other parts of the country. It was such a racial discrimination built over there by the white people. Racial domination, control due to race. Structure means forming of something. The structure they created, the system they created there in such a way. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century, 1991 to 1999, and my own 8th decade as a man, Nelson Mandela was in his 80s, 80s, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedoms of all peoples regardless of the color of their skin. Everything was overturned. Overturned means it's all broken out by forming their own government, a democratic form of government with his leadership. Okay, this is enough for today. Tomorrow we'll continue with the next paragraph. Okay, read the chapter, and as it is the end of the week, today I will give you some value based questions of 8 marks. You have to write those questions and answers in your homework register in your own words. And the length of the answer, 8 marks means 120 words. Minimum half of the page of the register it must be. Maximum you can write full page. Got it clear? Try to write a full page. As much you write, you can improve your vocabulary. Okay, thank you for listening. Tomorrow we will meet you again. Stay safe. Okay.